Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to the very first Not So Daily interview. We've got Hungs in the building. Thanks for joining us, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Just to let you guys know, I am dressed by Busani today. Those are the good people that let us use the studio, who threaded me out for today and will be our partners for a few episodes to come. And now that you know that, let's get into knowing Hungani a bit more.
Yeah.
My bro, so a lot of people know you for different things. Crazy how many hats you wear. Romeo on Scandal, viral dance videos on Instagram, the Sands group, teaching people literally how to perform their best, acting, dancing.
Yeah.
And of course, as Mr. Ndlovu and the Ndlovus at Cut.
Yeah.
But before I get into the interview, I want to tell people how I met you. Crazy story. So, being from Tanin, having friends from Mpumalanga, I always knew Hungani was my friend Zane's cousin. So it was like, oh, bro, you do ads. I have a friend that does TV. And I was like, alright, everybody has a friend, a cousin there. Until one day you came to play soccer with us. And young context, at soccer, many celebrities come through those doors, from your Rikis, your Major Leagues, your DJ Shimzas. And the guys will get excited, relatively. But the day you came through, everybody was like, bro, that kid from Scandal's here, that kid from Scandal's here. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? They're like, bro, don't you know that kid from Scandal? Yeah. And you show up, and I'm like, what the hell, bro? Yeah. So that's when I realized that, that's quite an impactful role.
I didn't even know that there was such a buzz. Because I came because of my cousin, Mandla.
Yeah,
so he invited me, he was like, yeah, no, come through, Because at the time, I was actually trying to hustle to dance for Casper.
Oh, you lie.
So he was like, come through, Casper will be there, maybe you can put in a young word or two. And then I got there like, hey, I don't know if this is the environment to do that. So I was like, nah, let me not.
I feel like you could have just scored a goal and did the whole celebration for like 30 minutes. I'm like, Casper, you see? You see? So at that time, bro, when did it hit you that, damn, what's actually happening here might be big? Like, when was the moment you're like, damn?
I think it was probably around May of 2016, because I started on Scandal in Feb, and I was only on screen at the end of March.
Yeah.
So like 2 months in, like when people were seeing me, that's when like I started like actually realizing that, okay, this is about to like flip the script in so many like ways.
Crazy.
And also my wife, then girlfriend, was like, dude, you do realize what this means, right?
Yeah, how
like,
big.
She fully grasped the extent of where this was going before I even knew it.
Serious.
And like a kid, like if it wasn't for like the, I guess, guidance, if I could put it that way, because I don't really know what word to use.
Yeah.
From Steph,
having
at that
been
time,
in there before.
Yeah, like, bruh, this is what, like, she literally painted pictures of what was gonna happen.
Serious.
Like, this will happen, that will happen,
Serious.
this will, and then this will happen. I was like, nah, come on, don't say that. And it really did happen.
Yeah, and I've heard Steph talk about how difficult it was for them to find someone to fit that role. So I think she understood like the magnitude of what they're trying to do a bit like better than you.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, bro. So you start on Scandal, your casting director becomes your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Do you guys hide the relationship? Like, you don't let them know, let me prove myself first?
Yeah, because like we hit it for the first 6 months of our relationship.
And you guys are just on set saying, hey.
Yeah, I mean, our characters didn't really interact with each other. And also, I mean, after the whole casting procedure, I don't really need to be in her space. Because that's all done. Yeah. So we shared a lunch table, but that was very like civilized. There was like no, manga business or anything like that, because I also didn't want the public to perceive that I got the job because I was dating her. Yeah. Because we met through me auditioning.
Exactly.
And then the aftermath was getting to know one another. And even sitting at the lunch table, that was just her way of inviting me, like, dude, just come here, because I'm a loner. Like, if you don't invite me into a space, I won't come into it. And like, there were cliques of tables during lunch. So I was like, hey, I don't really know people. Let me just go to my own space.
I'm the new guy.
And she was like, alright, dude, just come join us.
Don't be scared.
And I was like, okay, cool. You're kind of the only person I know because you auditioned me.
Yeah.
And I sat there, and then gradually. But for 6 months, we were like undercover.
Nothing. Well, nobody's having any doubts about how you got the job now.
I mean, I hope so.
So yeah, but I don't like talk about like coming from Mpumalanga, from Tzani. My experience, guy, and my high school, I don't even really know if we even had drama. I remember us having like a grade 8 concert.
Yeah.
But it's really like the scene is non-existent in my high school. Was it different from you? How do you get into this vibe?
So look, I mean, so I was born in Nelspruit.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Polokwane when I was 4.
Serious, yeah.
So
that was early,
that was very early, and then my primary school, we did like plays and stuff like that, but it was acting, drama was never a thing for me that was like, oh, since he was a little boy, it was never that. It was
never that,
Got to high school, didn't choose drama as a subject. Wasn't gonna become an actor. That wasn't the plan at all. But 2011 in April, I wanted to do this photo shoot.
Was it your matric year? No,
that was my grade
11 year. Yeah.
So I wanted to do this photo shoot. That time I'm already doing all my physics and all these subjects that
You're going this way.
I'm going the opposite way.
He's like,
Yes. So then I had to do I didn't have to. I had this photo shoot that I wanted to do for like just the portfolio vibe. I was really like getting into Facebook at that time, so I wanted like profile picture stuff. Yeah. So my mom helped me book this modeling place where they were doing shoots. Damn. I get there, and we get lost. So in La Rivonia, in Joburg.
Okay.
So I came to Joburg for high school. So now we in Rivonia, we at this small place, we get lost, we go to a different place. And at this place, they actually have some dance classes and whatnot. So then I ask a little bit of information they share, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that was possible. Like you could, like make money like this and do that and whatnot. So then after my photo shoot, I was dancing,
but like street vibes.
Like at school, trying to impress the girls, like all that kind of vibes.
Before Steph.
Yeah, before Steph. I mean, the dancing still worked for Steph though.
I see you, yeah.
So then, long story short, I eventually discovered this love and passion that I had for acting through trying out some workshops.
I see.
Because dancing was just a way to express myself.
I see.
And then that kind of felt like, okay, maybe I can try it with acting and see how that goes. Completely putting my emotions into somebody else's life all that kind of stuff. So that's how it became. And drama, like, I kid you not, even people from school, they're like, dude, you didn't even do drama in school. I'm like, yo, this called me. Like, I had to pick up.
Man, I'm always shocked when like I know we're talented. I know whenever I see like anybody from Mpumalanga or from Limpopo doing these things, because like now when you're in Joburg, you see a lot of us are doing it. I always wonder like how they got into it, because I know like Blaze, we were in high school together, same classes, physics, biology, and then he got even more distinctions than me in matric. And then when I'm like, bro, so you're gonna study adverts? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm going adverts too, bro. I'm doing civil engineering. What are you doing? It's like film and television. I'm like, what? From where you even find out about this? But for him, it was always like through watching stuff, falling in love with film. So it's pretty interesting, like how
we all have like a story, man. We all have our stories.
So I know, well, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You're not from like a poor family.
No.
You like grew up pretty like.
I grew up very privileged.
Right.
I can put it like that, like point blank. My parents worked very, very hard. And set up things in a way that allowed myself and my sister to, or rather our family, to be able to live a very comfortable life. Which
is not wrong. That's what we all want.
Yeah, like kids. It wasn't like there was never a time where I had to consciously think, will we have food tonight?
Food or anything like that.
Or will we have a roof to sleep? And there was never such a thought. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
If I'm not mistaken, they are in like construction and that.
Yeah.
So
tendering life.
The tendering business. Yeah. So now, obviously you have cousins, you have like family that don't do what you do.
Sure.
When they look at you, are they like, yo, Hungs is like very successful, he's impacting people's lives? Or are they like, what will you say?
Look, I mean, I can't answer for everyone.
Yeah.
I would hope that they are saying good things about me, because I personally don't have any qualms with any of my family members.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Like,
so you know, it depends, because you might find that there's maybe a cousin that's envious of what I'm doing, so maybe they'll be like, then there's one who's like, maybe they motivated by it, like, I know he's doing great things, man, like he's, you know, and that's my boy, that's my cut, like, so it just, I guess, also depends from their
because from your side, I've heard you talk about them and you seem very proud, like, they doing their thing, we link up,
love it, like, I honestly am. That there's certain cousins who are just doing like amazing things just based off me seeing it on like social media, because also like we don't talk a lot, and that's just because we're all in like our different spaces, but also it's like that time, not to say it's a good thing, you know, but that time where you're pushing,
everybody's
you
building,
know, so like there's you're like trying to
hustling.
you know, it's that mentality of like, by the time I'm this age, like this must,
you know, and
so
like
I
life
get
is like
that.
moving at dog years.
Exactly.
So when does LA happen? When does the trip to go overseas?
So that's that, and
just basically that. In terms of like, you finish matric,
Yeah.
you discover that this is what you're keen on. Do you move straight?
So I discovered it end of grade 11 that okay, cool, there's opportunity workant.
Yeah.
Then mid-year matric, just before prelims, I went that side for a little kind of like exhibition kind of vibe. We can. That's another story for that. Yeah, we'll that has its own things. Yeah. And then that's when I was like, okay, cool. I'm definitely going there, regardless of the outcome of this exhibition. I'm still going to the States.
Was that an acting exhibition? Was it just
was
general...
both acting and dancing.
I see.
But it wasn't the exhibition that gave me that thing
push,
to want to go there. It was experiencing the environment. So literally came back, I had 2 days and then started prelims. Crazy. I failed my prelims. But in my head I knew why this had happened.
That happened. You didn't care,
you know, and like we booked, my parents had full confidence in me. Like shout out, because they're gonna watch this, shout out to you. So they booked flights and everything before even getting results.
Wow.
Yo,
bro, that's crazy.
So the results came out the 28th of December. And our flight was on the 29th.
And you vibed.
Can you imagine? Just imagine if I failed.
Wait. Ufama Munzuk. But it's based on you passing that year.
Yeah. So just imagine if I'd failed.
After you failed prelims.
Imagine. Like they had nothing to like say, oh no, you did so well in prelims, of course you're gonna pass. Like I failed. The headmaster called me in. That's how bad I did.
Bro.
So they literally mama papa na seswame.
Then Bobabuya.
And then they came back after like settling me in, seeing where I was staying, my little studio apartment and all of that. But it was just like honest faith from them, because they had nothing to stand on. Like I failed prelims. How do you trust?
Believe that.
You know, so it's
you must be proper convincing, bro. Now we know how your stuff happened. But look, we are South Africa. Firstly, when you finish that side, you say, did you try find work that side? Were you like think about?
No, I tried. I mean, it's kind of like an inevitable thing, because you're already there, so you might as well give it a shot.
Exactly.
You know, but I didn't want to overstay my stay.
Exactly.
You know, like when I realized that my permit was expiring, I was like, cool, I don't want to ask my parents for the funds to try and apply for a longer permit and whatnot. Let me just go back home. And the goal was to come back, try hustle as much as I can to try and then go back. But that's because I had this mentality that the grass is green on the other side. But the grass is greener where you water it. You know, like where you nurture it, that's where it's going to be green. So it was just the way things happened. It happened in a way that allowed me to come home and realize the potential that I have within my own nation.
100%, bro.
So, yeah.
And you're doing a lot for the nation, bro.
Thanks, bro.
But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But coming back to SA, how difficult is it to find work? Because on Blackpala, that's like the most commonly asked question. Go, bro, how did you get on this? How did you get on this? How difficult was it for you to find work? First in theatre and then on TV.
Shatika.
Right?
Kuraf. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially because like in theater's got a very small world. And when I say small world, I mean like when you find yourself in like the theater space, it's almost as if everybody knows one another.
Yeah, it's tight-knit.
Yeah, it's very tight-knit.
Yeah.
And to enter that circle, you need to be part of the circle. So you need to be watching theater shows, you need to be interacting with those people. You can't just be out of the blue invited into a theater production if you've never even been to that theater. That would be like a shock. And that's how I got into it, because I started watching plays at the Market Theatre, for example. And like I would stay after the play's done and chat a little bit to the actors, a little bit to the director, just to make conversation and meet people, you know. And then eventually, very quickly, I got an opportunity to do a live reading, which is basically like a performance, but everybody has their scripts. So it's just a live reading of the play to kind of decide. They get a few people to come and watch to decide if the play should be put on or not.
I see.
So I did that, and then that's what put me through in the Market. I didn't even perform in that play, even though it got chosen. They decided to use a different actor, but I got selected for other stuff. But now I was part of the circle. Then got an opportunity to audition for TV stuff, and I was auditioning like crazy, bro. Like, if I can name the shows that I've auditioned on, like, you'll run out of. It's insane. Like, almost every single show that's on screen prior to 2018, I auditioned for.
Damn, that's crazy.
Except for like the GakeNet side, because I did my Afrikaans wasn't so great.
But you can speak Afrikaans, right?
I can understand a little.
Oh yeah. You learn.
I'm learning.
I see.
So yeah, no, it was very difficult. I did 23 TV auditions before I got my first one.
It's the same, bro.
In a space of 5 months, which is a lot. Because people will tell you now, I audition like maybe 4 times in a month, you know. So yeah, no, it was crazy.
Let's talk about the business of TV. Do you feel like TV, acting, as a passion career is sustainable? Because most people like who know you now because you're on so many avenues might not know that you did things the other way around from the people that they beef with now, because they're like, yo, you were popular, then you went into acting, but you are sort of the first generation of leveraging your acting to do other things. You know? So do you think acting alone is sustainable, especially in South Africa? Because bro, the older actors especially, it's just like
it's not.
Do you think it should be? That's actually what I'm trying to
it should. It definitely should, because like there's no need for me to have to do MCing gigs, to have to do appearances and all these things in order to just try and make ends meet. Like, that's not, I didn't sign up for that. Because it's the nature of our current state in the industry, then that's what people are doing. Like, people think like, oh no, you're so talented, like you're doing so many things, like no, I have to
do those many things,
because if I don't, then I won't either pay for my car or pay for some rent or have food on the table or you know what I mean. So like, it's important to do, or rather, what did they say, to have more than one source of income so that I'm able to. Other than that, like, acting is it's tough, man. It's tough to say like one acting gig will, because also you can act on a production for 3 months and then what?
Exactly.
Now you're out of work.
Exactly. So before moving forward from the whole industry, acting, financial thing, so I'm going to play devil's advocate, right? Some people will say that actors make as much as accountants, engineers, lawyers, and even doctors, because like if you're like a veteran on a show, you can get up to like a 200K. Am I right, wrong?
I mean, I can't say because I don't know. But I do know that there are certain people who, because of their status in the industry are able to make substantial amounts of money. But does that mean it's sustainable? I still say no.
So I agree that it's not sustainable, mainly because there's a lot of stability in other careers. And if you look at sustainability, you're talking about the long-term effect, which is like then you shouldn't have to worry about retirement every day. You shouldn't have to worry about loss of work every day. So I understand the non-sustainability of it.
And I mean, also, like, we don't have, like, perks.
You know,
like, some people work at a certain business, they have medical aid. Or they have retirement annuities, like, all that kind of stuff.
It's protected.
You, as an actor, need to think for yourself to create your own retirement annuity, which most, if I can say, don't do.
Exactly.
And then things like disability funds. If you don't have a disability fund, that could put you in a difficult position, because like, my character has 2 eyes. If I lose one eye, that could possibly make me lose my job.
Exactly.
So when that happens, what's going to happen to you? You know, so like, there's all these things that people don't necessarily put in place for themselves, because our industry isn't situated like that. I mean, we can talk about the royalties and all that. That's a whole other thing, because
that's a 10-hour
you pay me to work today for something that's gonna be shown on forever, and I will never make another cent other than the cent that you paid me today for.
Which is
you put me on a billboard, you don't pay me for that, but you pay me to be on the show. Like, there's all these things. You put me on front page of a magazine, but it's about the show, so I won't get paid for that. Like, there's so many. You're just like,
basically that is you talking about the business behind the what we see. So obviously everything depends on numbers, right?
Exactly.
So when you look at it, is it a case where the SA industry must grow and change some things, or is it a case where it must be sort of what can I call it? Just become one with the international industry? Because if you look at the numbers, right, people say, well, everybody says America does it like this, America does it like this. But the fact that we watch American shows, it means we add to their numbers, which means we add to their money, and they don't watch ours, which means there's a limited amount of money. Although, still, I agree that the production gets a lot of money compared to what is filtered through.
Look, I think the money is there. Or rather, let me say, I know the money is there. The thing is just, for like, you need to allow the money to actually trickle down instead of staying here. Because when we have, our shows are international. I mean, for shows to be able to get nominated for Emmys and so forth, that means that they are internationally acclaimed, right? So when you look at Scandal, for example, it's got a global audience of over 20 million. So then that just means that there's money coming in somewhere, but it stays at a certain level. And please, if I'm wrong, I'm honestly humble and open to being corrected. If I'm honestly wrong with what I'm saying, please do give me the information so that I can stop saying what I'm saying. Because this is what I believe at this current point, based on what I know.
I just have to warn everybody, you guys know we are in October in Joburg, so the rain has been coming in and out, so please excuse us for that, but we want to give you the best interview we can, so we're just going to give you all the information we can. So don't mind that. But I fully agree with you. But continuing with devil's advocate, right, I don't feel like you said, we've had this conversation before, I don't feel like actors should have to do other things to sustain themselves. I feel like it takes away from the industry, it takes away from what people enjoy, everything you do should be by choice. But someone will say, well, let's say if it was another business, right? Someone would be working as an engineer, like making 20K, whatever. Then they'll go out, struggle for like 5 years, start a business, see flames, take on the risk, whether it's like through corruption or through risking all their savings, going to debt, whatever it is. And then they'll employ a couple of people. And then in every industry, there's like, yo, that is what the boss is making, this is what we are making. So do you feel like in acting that's the case? Or is it like more of a, but we contribute more than what other employees contribute to the bottom line, because you are going to go out every day and represent that show. Whereas if I'm working at a company, when I go, I'm myself. I don't have to keep up my standards of life. There's so much pressure you take home with you guys.
I think the way in which we should be remunerated for our work should be based on what we are bringing to the table. So if you're playing a lead role on a show, that lead role needs to be looked at as to how much contribution does this role affect the show. So if you're in 70% of the storylines of the show, your paycheck should reflect the same.
70%.
That's 70% of work, because that's the amount of effort you're putting in. Because to be paid for, like just being a newbie in the industry, like you go into negotiations and they tell you things like, no, you're too young to earn that much, because I do my own negotiations, you know, and like I'll be like, but I know my contribution. Like it's not about how old I am, like whether I have kids or not,
to eat a full meal,
you know. It's not about that, but the question is, how much am I bringing to the table? If you didn't have me, what would you lose?
Exactly.
And now that you have me, what have you gained? So
exactly.
That's it for me. And same goes for like any other job. That's why you have, if you are the best surgeon, you are being paid the best surgeon fee. You know, you're not the intern. So do you get what I mean? And that's my thing.
Fully,
and like I understand hierarchies and all of that. Like sharp, I get it. Capitalism, like sharp, I get it. But pay people the worth that they are required based on their contribution, because that's their worth.
Yeah, and even if it's R1 after 10 years, say I didn't contribute that much, but I'm still making money from your little contribution. Here's your R1.
You know what I mean? So that's my thing. Like don't underpay, or rather don't undervalue people, because you know the value they bring to whatever place it is. It's like even me sitting here right now.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here because you asked the people that watch the show, hey, would you be keen? And they said yes. Had they said no, I wouldn't be sitting here, right? So me sitting here is based on the value that the people that watch the show thought I would be able to.
More.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, now I feel you 100%, bro. I feel you 100%. And without dwelling on that, because that's a convo that can go forever, let's talk about being on your own screen, on your own channel with YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Firstly, bro, I'm so glad you guys are on YouTube, bro.
Yeah.
That's like crazy content that I think so many people enjoy, and the numbers show it, bro. And the numbers show it. I don't know if you do it for the numbers, but the numbers are there. You can't deny them. Yeah. So
yeah, no, the numbers are there. At first, I wanted to do it with the hopes that we would get numbers, and that's why it took us so long to even actually end up being on YouTube, because the heart behind it wasn't correct until that changed, and it was actually about impacting people's lives. That's when the kind of the drive for it, because it's a lot of work,
bro.
That's where that came up. So yeah,
it's gang work. And I want to get into the good parts before I get into obviously everything has a good and a bad side. So yeah, dog, you guys put yourselves out there, from your proposal to your wedding, and people receive that. I feel like they receive that genuineness. But the question everybody has about YouTube is, do you actually make money off YouTube?
Yeah, fact.
So I've seen videos of like guys, YouTubers being like, this is how much we made off like a video with 4 million views. Is it like that? Like,
it depends. So like it's the way in which you make money is in a few different ways. So there's the views, there's the amount of time that's been spent on your videos, and there's the content of your videos, because different ads pay different amounts for the space, the platform, obviously,
you know. So if advertise certain things on.
So if your video is not attracting like the ads that are paying more money, then even if you have 1 million views, you're not going to make that much money. Like we have videos that have made more money than the videos that have more views, even though they have less.
Damn. So it's not like a direct proportionality. Okay, so let's talk about let's give an example of the one video. So can you trace how much you made off
every video, every single video? I can trace how much we made today.
The challenge.
I can't talk about that.
That's the biggest one. Okay, let's go for an average video. 400k views.
An average video makes around, so 400k is not an average views, but that would be amazing. Ndlovu gang, come on, let's get that 400k. Let's go. So an average video for us makes around 2,500.
Serious?
An average video. Yeah.
Damn. So you can basically live off YouTube. That's a real thing.
Yeah, no, you can for sure.
But like you said, you do it.
But you have to put in the work, because if you're not doing good content that people are enjoying, then it can become very pointless.
It can become a job. So basically, you and Steph are business partners.
Yep, business partners, life partners, adventure partners in all spheres.
Yeah. So when I first got on YouTube, it was through a couples channel.
Okay.
But that lasted, I don't know how many months, but my girl enjoyed it more than me because she was the boss. I was the employee. I was editing and being told, do that differently. Do that thumbnail. Yeah. Does that happen? Does one person have to assume a role and the other one?
I mean, look, Steph doesn't enjoy the editing part of things. She's tried to learn, but she doesn't enjoy it. So I'd rather not put her through such a taxing thing that she doesn't enjoy. Whereas for me, like, yes, it's a lot of work, but I also do enjoy it. So she doesn't give too much control. Sometimes she watches the videos for the first time and everybody's watching them. Because I edited them and she trusts. You know, so, and also like she sees that I'm putting in the work through studying, and like right now I'm like I was telling you, you know, like learning about YouTube and all these different things. So she sees, okay, no, he's taking this thing seriously. So let's see, and if it doesn't work, then she pitches in like, oh, maybe we should have tried this like that, and then the next time I'll try it.
To her
that's interesting. You can't not be open to it.
Because I have this theory about, I actually want to get your view on gender roles quickly. I told my girl, I'm like, babe, there's stuff that you know how to do, whether right or wrong, like cooking, cleaning, you know how to do better than me. And it's not that I don't want to do it, it's because that's an 8-hour task for me, where it's like a 2-hour task for you. So is that like how you guys
same thing in our household? Like, I can cook because I've been a bachelor before, but when I do cook, for me it's a process, because it's not something that I've been doing or was raised doing on a consistent basis. How in Steph's household, for example, since she was young, she would need to cook because her mom would work late and stuff like that, so then she'd have to make dinner quickly because the boys are not that equipped, stuff like that. So it's just for us, it's not really like a gender role thing. It's more of who's more capable and more efficient.
Especially efficiency exercise, I think, more than anything.
Because imagine now you're hungry. Now here's Hungani chopping onions, busy crying, taking 3 hours. Whereas she'll be there for 45 minutes.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that to someone, because you know, like every time, if somebody if you just split roles, right, and you know you can't do it as well, that's like almost like, you know, every time you do it, she's gonna come help. Then she's gonna still have to do what she's doing. So but
we share quite a lot of stuff: chores, cleaning. If I'm not feeling like taking out the bins, she'll take out the bins. Like, it's not, oh no, you go do the garden. You go, nah.
That's flat. But that being said, it feels like you guys. Well, it would feel like you guys are in each other's space so much because you do the YouTube thing together. You've had to work together. You are in the same industry. Does that get too much, or like is that something? Does it make it easier?
I've never really thought about that. I think because I just enjoy her company. So it's never been a thing of like, sheesh, like, yo,
I've been
seeing you, you know, like it never gets like that.
Screen time.
Like, way too much safe time. Nah, it's never been like that. And like, I think it's just because like we enjoy each other's company. Like, I actually don't enjoy being alone without her. Not to say I don't enjoy like my alone time. I have my time where like I shop and just need some space, whatever. But I like having her around. Like, it's just So I think because of that, I never really pay attention to.
So before I move on from that, I just want to ask one question that ties sort of that together, like working in the same space and also what you do. Also the fact that you guys are like, you are both Christian, you know, and that's like a clear message, and you put that out there. What boundaries does that cause? Like being married, being in the industry, your wife being in the industry. Like, I saw the one episode when you guys were like watching each other's old scenes. And then there was a Steph kissing scene, the little peg, and you're like, you didn't make a big deal of it. But I was just like, I wonder how he feels. How do you actually feel? Or how does she feel when you have to kiss someone on screen, or she has to kiss someone on screen? Is that like...
Look, we understand what's required of our industry and of us from the industry, but what's always like the driving force is does it feed the story and is it necessary? So there's always a way to go around something. You don't always have to do what's scripted, and if you have a good team that you're working with, they'll accommodate that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like it's not uncomfortable, but it's not comfortable. It's something that is required. So it's like, cool, I understand this is what we need to do. So how are we gonna go around it? Make sure that you always speak about it. Like, this role requires me to be sexually fluid.
Yeah.
Are we okay with that? Like, okay, cool, I'm fine with it, but you're gonna play the role. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Based on our faith, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like you're doing a disjustice or disservice to our faith? Like, no, I feel like I'm bringing light to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like, okay, cool. Well, then we've spoken about it. We're both okay. Let's proceed.
I see.
And then should something come up, like, I actually didn't feel comfortable, like when you came home and I knew what scene you were doing, I just felt a little insecure or whatever, then the duty of your partner is to just reassure you, and then you move on. But 100%. The problem becomes when you don't talk about it. And I think also what helps is we're both in the industry, so we understand what's required. Unlike if maybe I was a doctor or something else and I didn't understand the industry, then I think that would have caused a lot more friction than it does for us.
I see. Yeah, that makes 100% sense, bro. 100% sense. So listen.
I mean, it's still tough, but
I can imagine, bro. I can imagine. But like as an artist, like I also am like, but you can't put those boundaries on someone's career. You have to trust them to have that sort of those boundaries for themselves, as long as they communicate it. So that's fine.
Yeah, it's like what's that thing? Like a blessing and a curse kind of thing, because you understand it, but it still doesn't necessarily feel good, but you understand it. But
it must be like tough waters, bro. Like being married, being Christian, that's like the blue, like that's like so much fencing around what the industry is trying to push, like the narrative. Dog, bro, that those Christian things, like those married things. So it's like. It's so much red tape, and for you guys to like navigate it the way you do shows that like being genuine always like wins,
Hey man, look, we're trying our best.
That's all you can do, bro,
and that's all you gotta do, really.
I want to ask you this because we've touched on you as the actor. I'm curious on you, the businessman, right? With the Sense Group, right? Firstly, can you teach anyone how to act, or what sort of prerequisite do you want? Because people are gonna be like, I want to be like Romeo, bro. This guy can teach me how to be like Romeo.
So here's the thing: not everybody is able to act. We don't all have that bone. It's just like not everybody can sing.
100%, no matter how much idols you are.
Yeah, regardless of how many times but honestly, you can understand the principles of acting. Anyone can understand those principles. The trick and the challenge is actually like inhabiting character and being able to imagine that you are this person. That's where the trick comes in, because like it's easy to understand, okay, cool, I need to memorize these lines, I need to do this, I need to analyze this scene. Those are all theory-based things. It's when it becomes practical and it's like, okay, cool. So right now, you are Zach. And Zach's mother just died in an explosion in Afghanistan.
Bro.
And you're watching it on a video call and they want to see your reaction. And people like often say, oh no, then I need to cry. Like, no. You're not required to cry. What's required is for you to respond the way Zach would respond. What would he do? Which means you need to feel that. But you need to feel it in a way that Zach would feel it, based on Zach's description. What's his personality like? What's his characteristics? What does he believe? All those things, and feel it in that sense.
So you can't be very like obsessed with yourself. You gotta be able to get over yourself like that.
Yeah,
for like an audition, for every day, just like
it's not about you.
Yeah.
Like it's honestly, acting is really not about the actor. It's not about you.
So
So yeah, not everybody can, but you know, at Sans Group we try to do our thing, and we help people ultimately realize their potential.
So when Faith gets his show,
yeah.
Would you have,
you would bring this up?
Would you have eventually taught Kim how to act?
Look, if Kim wanted to come through, I would have let her come through. And depending on how the first session would have gone, I would have given her feedback. Like I don't stop people from trying. My biggest thing is like, if you wanna go for something, give it a shot. You don't know what's gonna happen, but give it an honest shot. Like give it your all, so that whatever happens thereafter, decisions on you. 100%. Because I might be a coach that says, listen, we've had like 5 sessions now and I don't think this is quite for you. But you might go somewhere else, and that coach might be the right fit for you. Exactly. That gets you on a personal, spiritual, and emotional level to get you to unlock whatever is there that I couldn't unlock. 100%. Because not every coach that you go to will work for you the way they worked for everybody else. So, but me, I'm honest, man. Like I'll tell you what I think, and that's just my opinion based. You know, you can go to somebody else and get a second opinion or a third opinion.
That's so funny.
She would have came through. I mean, I'm still waiting. Yo, Kim, if you're watching, come through. Your boy's still waiting. You know.
Do you get paid for a feature like that on a reality show?
No.
It's like good exposure for Sans.
That's just that literally was. I was there purely to advertise Sans Group, and literally the next course that I had, we had 9 people that were there because they watched the show.
That's crazy.
Out of 23.
Dang.
So that's like almost half.
Yeah, so, bro. That's actually what I love about the way you navigate like the industry. You as a person, you know, how I don't know if you're born with the business aspect, but everything has a bottom line, but it all builds from the passion, right?
Yeah.
And I think so. Well, the reason I say that or ask that is because right now you collaborate, like even doing this show, you collaborate with a lot of people that are starting out or working on like passion projects, and you see the vision. And a lot of the times it's dudes that like, whether they're trained or not, if you identify it, you know? So with something like Love, right? Love, the web series is crazy. People love it, and it has a great blend of youthful talent. Some went to school, some didn't. Amazing talent, bro. Tenda's gonna be ruling the world, the country scene for some time to come. So, do you feel like, well, the old age argument of like guys that are untrained versus guys that are trained? Do you feel like acting really requires formal training, or is it just like anything you can catch anywhere? If you have the talent, you can apply it.
So I highly recommend training. The question being from an institution like a varsity or a college and so forth, I can't really say because I haven't had personal experience in those places. But what I do recommend is training. It's training. Especially because training you can achieve yourself without having to pay, whether it's 60,000 Rand or whatever the case is, but you can buy the books that are needed. You can buy them online, get them shipped to your home. You can look out for workshops that are being hosted. You can do online courses with really profound studios from overseas. Like, there are ways in which you can do training without going to an institution and coughing out your life savings, for example, right? But the reason why I say training is essential is because you need to learn the fundamentals, you need to learn the principles. But as to where you get them, that's solely up to you. Some people want to go to places for status.
Exactly.
You know, some people want to go because that's where they believe they'll learn, because maybe their idol or the actor that they really wish to be like, or the actor they'd really like to work with went there. You know,
person was that person before they went there. You need to like be able to like differentiate,
because you might get there and it might not work for you, because things are the synergies.
And I feel like it's just like about not wasting people's time, bro. I remember like weirdly, bro, when I did this McDonald's ad, when I went for the audition, right, I was acting with my back towards camera.
Yeah.
And by some grace, they gave me another shot.
Right.
And I was like, but that's kind of unfair for you to go into something without like even just taking the time to be like, this is what you don't do, this is what you don't do.
Right.
And I feel like that's what training does. But in terms of like how you perform, that's purely talent. That's why I don't really feel like the argument of are you trained or are you not trained holds weight, or like formally trained. I feel like the argument of are you talented or not holds more weight.
But you see, the thing is, like, you can be talented and not trained, right? And there's going to be gang things that you'll need to learn on set and quickly.
Yeah, that I feel like is unfair.
You see,
if
but when you're trained and talented, you have what you need to get on set.
And you understand the other person's bottom line.
Exactly. Like, you understand everybody's role that we're playing.
Exactly.
So, like, for me, for example, I trained in film and theater, not on TV.
I see.
So when I got onto TV, I was like, whoa, we're working with 3 cameras. What's happening? Yo, there's 2 mics. Okay. Whoa, there's... Like, I didn't learn that. But I had to learn it quickly on the job. And it helped that I had already somewhat of training, because there were certain things that, this is the same thing as that. Okay, cool, I get you.
Just different wording.
Yeah,
different,
you see, but if you completely, like, know nothing, then it's on you to find out. Like, we've got YouTube.
Bro, exactly.
You know, like, there's so many ways you can teach yourself. It's not saying, like, no, don't go and get a job because you didn't train, but you're talented. No, just learn the bare minimum. The bare minimum. Just so that when you walk on, they're like, stand on the T. The T. Like, the T. Like, if you don't know what that is, like, where you going?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I fully agree.
So, yeah.
So, a lot of people would hate me if I close without identifying, no pun intended, the scandal. Are they still going to have you on Scandal? Do they know? Do you know?
So technically, yes. I can put it that way. But yeah, that was a scandalous...
Bro.
A scandalous thing,
situation.
And we are dealing with it appropriately. But yeah, no, it's just one of those things, like, you know, tabloids are going to be tabloids.
Bro,
yeah.
hectic.
And unfortunately, it happened to be me. Could have been anybody else.
This time, tomorrow is someone else.
Yeah.
But, bro, I want to tell you that when the blood and water shoot your shot, bro, I love that. I respected that so much, bro. And, like, it just shows me that no matter what happens, bro, something will be achieved. That also, like, showed me how crazy people want to see you on everything. Like, if people had their way, you'd be acting on 100 shows.
Like, that was... Honestly speaking, I didn't think it would be that hectic. Bro. Because it got quite hectic, some clout.
Like, it was like a proper petition. Like, yo, we want to see this dude on
And honestly, I was kind of, like, taking like a joyride with it when I thought, like, let me just entertain it for a little bit and see, like, where it goes.
Yeah.
Then when it was like, second day and it's still on.
Like,
hey, but okay, no, then we're on. You know, on the second day, that's when I was like, no, nangen.
Well, yeah, because when West Bonnie, even like, obviously they're high up and they're like, wait, this guy just said it, and so many people were like. So that's like that's crazy.
I even screenshotted. Is it screenshotted or shot? Anyway, I screenshot the first tweet because I didn't start it.
Oh,
it was, I guess, one of my followers or fans or supporters that said how cool would it be to have Hungani on Raw. Then I retweeted that with a reply on it, like, you know, when you have, and then so I did that, and then that's what started going crazy. So, like, I saved that because should it happen, shout out God, shout out God. I know you blood and water, let's get it, come on Netflix, don't sleep on a nigga. I don't know if you say nigga on your show, don't sleep on a boy.
So this is the internet.
So I'm like, the day that happens, I can't not give thanks to that girl.
Yeah,
because
exactly,
like
bro.
She gave me the thought. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have retweeted, and then I wouldn't have taken it as faithfully serious as I did, you know. So we'll see what happens, man. Like, you know, life is funny like that.
I love that, bro.
You know.
So yeah, actually, this is a question from all the questions are from me, but this is something that I've been personally curious about.
Yeah.
Do you wanna be written into more like Tsonga roles? I don't know if that question makes sense.
I get you.
Because I think one thing that growing up as a Tsonga person, one thing that you identify is like that the world has like a big misconception about like Tsonga people. I always tell people, bro, when it was the first time I heard that Limpopo is a poor province.
Yeah.
Because man, I've only known rich kids.
Yeah.
Like in Limpopo and my friends from Mpumalanga, and I was like, wait, how is this the case?
Yeah.
Then so I still like a bit confused about it, but what I think is the case, especially at Wits, is that a lot of the smart kids that make it to Wits are like kids that are from the more rural schools.
Sure.
And the more of the guys that are from more private schools find other avenues because they have more options.
Sure.
And they don't really believe 100% that you have to go to university. There's so many other avenues, you know.
Sure.
So I think that might be the misconception. But yeah, I'm curious about like with you, is it like, does that thing bug you?
I mean, to a certain degree, but the way I see it, it's tribalism. That's the only way I look at it. But in terms of like me doing more Tsonga roles, I personally wanna do roles that that challenge me regardless of language. Right? If it comes to language and it's Tsonga, then it also needs to like
make sense.
Also, but like I don't want to impose my language on roles for the sake of trying to bring up the Tsonga nation in a sense, because for me that's not the right approach. Because that's Banbayena, they when they see like Tsonga people on shows and stuff, they tend to and all that kind of stuff, which it's cool, but that shouldn't be the goal. That shouldn't be our aim. That shouldn't be our standard.
It shouldn't even be a problem.
And it shouldn't be a thing, right? So for me, it's like if I'm gonna play a Tsonga role, then it needs to be if that was how it was set. And also if they say, cool, you can audition for this thing and you can speak any language. Majority of the time I do speak my own language, you know? So, but my challenge comes in, even in Xitsonga, there's different dialects. You know, so like if it's gonna be a kid from Guyana, then I need to speak the way they speak Guyana. I can't speak the way I speak from Hezeview Nale Bush. Because it's not the same. Just because exactly. You know, so it's like I don't want it to just be a thing of, oh, he's Tsonga, he spoke Tsonga, our language is going up. I understand all of that and I sympathize with it and I get it, but I'm like, let's address the issue of tribalism. That's what we need to address. Actually, that's what the problem is. You know, so I have no issue with playing any like. For me, language is a big thing, and I'm trying to learn as many as I can for the sake of being able to play multiple different roles.
No, that makes sense, bro. And I fully like resonate with what you said. Because at the end of the day, it shouldn't be up to you to do that, because the problem is the people. The same people that are like, yo, South Africa is a jungle, will be like, hey, Limpopo, are there elephants on the road? And you're like, bro, come on. And once you travel the country, you realize poverty is poverty. And in some areas, poverty is worse. You know, and those are things that should be addressing, to be like, guys, listen, we need to come together. Ikomba like the powers of everything, instead of like trying to be like, let's fight within each other for the better language. That's what
there's no need to belittle other people because of where they come from, because of the way they speak. You know, some even aside from just Xitsonga, some people get ridiculed because of their English accent. And you're like, bruh, this is his fifth or second language, you know, like, no, like, that shouldn't be a measure of anything, you know, so it's all these little things that we end up focusing on that actually distract us from what we should be focusing on, you know, which is the bigger issues. Like, you want to complain about this person's English sounds like this, so that means they're not too smart or not clever or whatever the case is, but we've got xenophobia.
Man,
like not to bring other things into the topic, but like there's a lot more serious things than someone's English accent that we need to deal with. Like let's rather deal with the serious things, and then once that's dealt with, then we can talk about accents, because an accent changes based on where you're from. You know, you watch your favorite soccer player. How's their English accent? The game was the you're like, oh, but they're still smart, you know. But because this person is from just here in Mpumalanga, now it's a problem. Like, just check your favorite soccer player and then come back.
They come back to us. Yeah, bro. Dude, I really enjoyed having you here.
That's a pleasure.
Shout out to the people for making this happen.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done like an interview in a minute.
Yeah.
But like having you sit there just was like, oh, this is home, because you get to have conversations with people that have a lot to offer.
Yeah.
And that is like one of the most amazing feelings you can get as an interviewer, to share insights and hear how somebody else sees the world and how they've sort of use that to succeed in the world.
Sure.
And I guess interviews like these are about like sharing those tools with other people that aspire to do the same or have done it a different way and might want to change, tweak a few things about that. And you guys in the comments can also give your inputs, and we'll read and be like, oh, okay, that person noticed that, that person noticed that.
Sure.
So it's like a very nice way to share insights about the world, bro.
I'm glad I came. Shout out to the peeps. Thanks for having me.
Shout out, guys.
Really
thank you so much. Blessings and luck with everything that you're pursuing. everything. And shout out, bro. Shout out to Blaze for shooting this, shout out to Busani for giving us the studio.
And they dripped you nice.
Dripping me out like this. Yeah, guys, also tell me what you guys think of my look, hey? Don't be a hater now. Don't be a hater. So, thank you, Hungani. And also, guys, catch us on the Ndlovu's Uncut, bro. We are live on the Ndlovu's Uncut.
Oh, yes, we is.
Shout out. So, guys, don't forget to stay tuned for more Not So Daily interviews. Also, catch the Not So Daily show. Tell a friend, subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment. And we really, really appreciate you guys. Cheers.